Chapter 3. Dante leaned against the side of a building, staring at the words, King Po Rules. It was spray-painted on a wall across the street along with other graffiti honoring the king of Harm City. He looked over at a man and a woman who were examining the crime scene. The thin man with unruly hair and thrift store clothes, skin was pale as a ghost. Behind him was the complete opposite of the tousled-looking man. A highly attractive, dark-skinned woman with long, jet-black hair stood with her freshly laundered white shirt and black chinos.
"My name is Detective Matt Sluggs," the scrawny man said, "and this is my partner, Detective Tracy Richards."
Like I already said to the other cops, I didn't know the kid, Dante replied, annoyed.
Everyone at the bus station said you and the kid walked off together,
Detective Richards said. We walked in the same direction, but not together. Dante looked at her, his irritation growing.
I believe you were trying to help the kid because you knew why he was here, she explained.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dante eyed the pair, his eyes narrowing. Are we done?
"I'll let you know when we're done,"
Detective Sluggs growled, his face flushed red in anger. It didn't take Dante long to realize that the two were not playing good cop, bad cop. Detective Richards seemed to be doing her job, and Detective Sluggs was just an asshole.
Did you go there?
Detective Richards' eyes flicked down to the University of Pennsylvania logo on Dante's shirt. Yes, I just graduated, Dante replied, standing a little taller.
"You're from here?"
Sluggs' eyebrows knitted together in confusion. Dante nodded.
"You left this city to go to school," Sluggs clarified. "And once you graduated, you came back?"
Dante nodded again, looking between them. My family lives here, and this is my home. Tracy Richards handed Dante one of her business cards.
Just in case something jogs your memory, please contact us, she said.
Tracy stopped as if she'd forgotten something and turned back to Dante.
The kid's name was Sam. He was 13. Mr. Holmes, this city is a much more dangerous place than it was when you left for college.
"Welcome home,"
Sluggs said, smirking at him. Dante stared at Sam's body on the ground before grabbing his bags and disappeared in the darkness of the city. Chapter 4. The staff were doing their best to clean up the permanent layer of grime that coated the entire place. Kira stared at the meager tips she had collected that evening from the gentleman club during closing time. I find it amazing that you are a waitress and not a dancer, someone said from behind her. She spun around. Jordan was smiling at her.
Why does that surprise you?
Jordan gestured at the three dancers who were snorting coke. It's a bonus only for the dancers from King Po, he said. Kira looked unimpressed. She looked over at the dancers. One of the dancers was noticeably pregnant. She frowned. I have a proposal for you, he said, sitting down in a booth, and Kira glowered down at the lawyer.
What is it?
She inquired, curious and suspicious. My client would like to request a private dance at his place, he replied, an oily smile crossing his face.
I am not a hooker,
Kira snapped, shaking her head. Her long box braids shook back and forth as she looked him up and down. My client knows that and would never ask it from you. He has a lot of respect for your brother. Jordan smiled at her like she was a slow child. He leaned in. Do you know whom I represent? Kira nodded.
How does he know who I am?
The king knows everything, and he has had his eye on you for a while. Jordan let his eyes wander around her sensual, dark-skinned body that her uniform barely covered. She backed up and turned away, feeling uncomfortable under his glare.
I'm not sure.
My client never asks twice, he replied, his voice dangerously low. Kira thought for a moment. As reluctant as she felt about this, she knew this was an opportunity she couldn't pass on.
Okay, I'll do it.
Keep your phone on. You'll receive a text tomorrow with the time and address. Don't be late. My client hates tardiness. Jordan stood, exiting the booth, leaving Kira with both an eager and uneasy feeling. Chapter 5. Dante unlocked a door that he has not passed through in over 4 years. He walked into the small townhouse and down the hallway, flooded with memories of his childhood. As he passed a picture of his parents hanging on the wall, a feeling of joy and pain simultaneously hit him as he stared at the photo. Dante heard buzzing from a nearby room. He slowly followed the sound into a small living room. Dante smiled because the room looked the same, with the floral patterned sofa and love seat, a few family antiques, and several knickknacks. A framed picture of Jesus praying in the Garden of Gethsemane hung on the wall. The buzzing was from an oxygen machine with tubing that connected to his 80-year-old grandmother's nose. The old woman, known as Mom Edna, was asleep in her recliner. In her papery arms was a 7-month-old baby, wide awake and smiling at him. Dante walked over and gently took the baby from the elderly woman. He walked down the hall toward his old room, only to discover she had converted it into a nursery. Dante placed the baby in the crib. He paused, feeling the cold metal of a gun against his back.